Hey, what's happening, you guys? Credit D Will here from Sweetwater, and I am super excited because I got my guy Nick D here in the studio, and we did a jam session that was amazing, and we're gonna show you guys what's up.
Yeah, we got together some acoustic drums, D Will on his machine.
Yep.
Created some beats, and we just thought we'd see what we'd do together in real time. So with that being said, let's get to jam number one.
Man, Nick, that first jam session was awesome. So tell me about the kit that you used while playing over top of the music that I had going on the machine.
The drum kit was a Ludwig Element Evolution kit. Now it's a mid-level kit. It's like a great step up for the beginner because you get literally everything in the box to play acoustic drums. Cymbals, sticks, everything. And it's a great sounding little drum kit. It fit well with what you had because you never know what you're gonna have at your own studio.
Yeah.
You use whatever you got to create music together. We didn't overthink that, right? We just had some drums and your stuff, and I tuned up the drums and they sounded really good. They were easy to play.
Amazing.
Yeah, really cool.
They went really good with the kit that I had going
Yeah.
on. Yep.
I had some nice Sabian cymbals I put up on the kit, ProMark drumsticks, Telefunken, and Audio-Technica microphones on the drums.
Dope, dope, dope. So this was kind of like a really unique experience for me because typically when I'm in the studio making music, then I'm chopping samples and I'm playing them back kind of not in real time. So being able to actually chop those loops on the machine plus that I was using in the video and then have you play back to them was a very unique experience. So what I did was I had a sample that I got from Splice. I find a lot of my samples from Splice, but and matter of fact, I did a recent video on this where we talked about how to make your sample sound better. You can pitch them up and everything like that.
Sure.
So for this first jam, I took that sample, I pitched it up a little bit, then I changed the tempo to match the drum break that I had found from Splice. And what I did was I chopped each one of the drum breaks up and I put them on each pad. So whenever I triggered it, it was playing maybe a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, or whatever, but everything, I had full control over it to play it how I saw fit in the jam. So what you're seeing me do on the machine is everything is quantized to the beat, but I am playing it out in kind of like in sequence and then kind of remixing that drum break. So that's how I got the sound that I got.
Sure, and what's really cool about that from an inspirational standpoint, as me, the drummer, listening back, when you trigger that kick or snare, it's not just a clean kick or snare, it's part of that drum break.
Yeah.
So you hear the other sounds in the background, even if it's just slightly, that gives you a vibe. And then the way you're hitting those things and the order you're putting them in just totally dictated what I played.
Yeah.
And it was fun, it was really inspirational, kind of off the cuff. And doing that kind of thing with you is fun. It's a great exercise because you have to kind of rein yourself in. Sometimes you just groove, lay in the pocket, see how you can kind of connect with the break you're making. Or sometimes it's fun to kind of try a solo over it a little bit, throw in some flurries here and there, and then keep time because what you're playing is in time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. For the most part, it's in time. So how I had it set up, I had the metronome going, and then I had the loop, got it started, and everything was in time. So everything that you're hearing was it was done beforehand, but it was done live beforehand.
Right.
So me actually playing it out kind of gave us the groove that we wanted rather than the traditional quantized directly of the sample. So
Sure.
Yeah.
And I could see this happening. You could totally take this out and do performances on live stages and entertain folks. I mean, in real time, it's a cool thing.
It definitely is, man. It was fun for me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get on to letting the folks see jam number 2 because that one was pretty cool too.
Let's get it, bro.
All right. Will.
Yeah.
That one was fun.
Bro, it was.
I love the funkiness about it. Lots of inspirational sounds for me as the drummer to play to. I love the energy to it all. Now you're using the machine to perform with. And explain your thought process and how that piece works and how easy or hard it is to perform with a piece like that.
So the machine that I'm using in the video is more like it's a standalone device and it's a controller, but I had it in a controller mode. Typically, if I'm performing or doing anything outside of the recording studio, then I'll take it in standalone mode. But since I was jamming along with you, I wanted to have complete control utilizing the software. It just makes things a lot easier. So again, the sample that I use, I got another sample from Splice. I use a lot of samples from Splice, and I kind of pitched it up and everything like that. So and the scratching noise that you heard, I can do it inside of the machine. Like we have the touchpad where you can actually make that scratching noise, but I wanted it to be everything to be synced up and perfect. So when I go back and do like stops and everything with the Machine Plus, then I can still have that scratching noise going, because you can't really do too much. I can't do the scratching and the tape stop effect all at the same time. So I put one on pad 2, and then I put another sound effect on pad 1, and that kind of gave me that effect towards the end of the loop that we had going on. So yeah.
In the machine, how much can you load into it if you're going to use it as a standalone box?
Yeah.
How much space is in the box? How many samples can you put in that thing?
So
enough for a whole night's worth of music?
Oh yeah,
okay.
definitely. So with the Machine Plus, you can actually plug an external hard drive into it. I think up to like 1 terabyte, but it also has an SD card slot. So I can I had all of mine loaded up on that SD card slot whenever I go anywhere. But if you have your computer, then you have all of the sounds that's loaded in your computer. And typically that's how I love to work, because I got a whole bunch of libraries of different sounds and everything like that. And like I said, I grab all my loops from Splice or other avenues. So having my computer there's just a dope feature.
Nice.
Yeah. So Nick, bro, like tell me your process of like what's going through your mind while I'm actually playing the loops and the samples and everything while you're performing, because this is like the first time I ever had an actual live drummer go over top of my samples and play anything. So what's your whole process and thought process on that?
Well, first off, we got to do it some more because it was super fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the first thing I want to do is I let you start so I can hear what the tempo's going to be and sort of the vibe right out of the gate. So that jam number 2, you had that vocal sample, and then the beat that you put underneath it, that inspired me right away just to kind of play a simple, like 16th note sort of funkier backbeat. Simple, just to kind of get the whole thing started. And then as we go in our scenario right here, it's more free. We're not really performing for an audience, so it's just kind of experimenting and see where you can take it. It's fun to kind of hear where you go, throw in your extra sounds, and then see if I can put in a little bit of a flurry here or there, all the while really trying to keep the backbeat there too. Even though I'm playing drums and I have some fills and want to kind of maybe go a little crazy once in a while, I still really just want to feel that backbeat and that solid 2 and 4 in the groove. And it's a great test as a live drummer because I wasn't listening to a click track. I was just listening to your beats.
Yeah, so that was kind of like your
my click track. So I got to really concentrate on keeping good time and still having it be loose and groovy at the same time. So it's a really fun exercise.
Yeah.
You could do this at home if you just put on a loop and practice to loops. It's a great exercise for drummers to do because you could see where it's going to take you, and then listen back and see if you play too much or maybe you play too little. Remember to leave space. Space is a good thing too. You don't always have to play all the time. So I really just hear the sounds you make and just kind of see how I can change it up a little bit, and then but with always pocket.
Okay.
The ground
I was gonna ask that about the pocket, because I hear some drummers say, "Hey man, you want to stay in that pocket." So was the beat that I provided kind of like the pocket that you wanted to stay in, or how does that work?
Yeah, it's sort of all of it really.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. And if we were actually performing and putting on a show where people were dancing and grooving along, maybe play a little bit less as the drummer, keep the pocket more solid longer, so they can really start feeling the groove.
Gotcha.
Because you don't want they're dancing, having a good time, and then you start throwing in some double bass kind of stuff, and then make them trip where it's like, where'd the beat go? That kind of. So you don't want to do that. So it just depends on the situation. But the way we were doing it, the pocket was, your groove was the pocket, was the anchor, and it just let me kind of dance around it a little bit.
That's awesome, man. It was a fun groove.
Yeah. Well, D-Will, this was a lot of fun.
Bro,
We have one
definitely
more
was.
groove for the people to check out.
We got to do this again, though.
We will.
Yeah.
Now that we did it once, I think we know what to do.
Yeah.
And we can make it better next time as well.
Definitely.
And there's so much great gear here at Sweetwater we can use to do this kind of stuff with too. So I think we can show off all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
We'll make it happen.
Sound like a plan to me.
Thanks so much for hanging out with me and D-Will. We have another groove for you to check out. Groove number 3. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Peace.